Hello everyone. So last class we have seen how do we give some output to the user and how do we store some values in the memory of the computer. Okay, so that we are using variables. So in this class we will be revising how do we actually take some input from the user and store it in the memory, right? So the input that we will be receiving now will be through keyboard. And we will be learning how do we take input, the numeric inputs, okay, like integers, whole numbers, decimal numbers, and so on, right? So before that, I will just declare some variable. So let's say I will declare double. So it is always safe to declare double because it will take both decimal values as well as integer values, okay? So double, let's say my value, right? Now I'll ask user for some value. So printf, this is just to give some output. Please enter a number, right? Now we have to use scanf. So scanf is the syntax that we have to use to get value, okay? So our data type is double. So we have to use identifier percentage large float LF, right? And we have to store the value which user is giving to my value. Okay. Now you have to remember when you are storing some value, you have to use this and or ampersand sign. Okay. So what does that ampersand sign do? It is very important to understand this. Ampersand sign basically points to the location of the memory address. So basically, whenever the variable is storing some value, it is actually storing in some place in the memory. Okay, that memory has something known as an address. Address is basically it is a way to identify the location of the value that memory is storing, right? So ampersand will point to that place where the memory is being saved. Okay. So what has happened here is in line number 8, we are receiving some value from the user and storing it. Okay. Now let's say I am going to increase the value. Okay, I'll just give an output now. The value given by user is percentage LF, comma, my value. Okay, always remember you have to end all the sentence with semicolon. I'll give a line here. Right. Now let's run the code. Please enter a number. So it is asking for a number. This line it is running this line now. Now I have to enter some value. Let's say 12.5. The value given by the user is 12.5000 because it's a double. It is showing this misplaces. So I can format this 0.2 LF, right? After 2 decimal places. I'll run this again. Please enter the number. Let's say 25.262. So I am entering this number from using my keyboard. I am pressing enter afterwards. Once the number is entered, it is going to my value. Afterwards, I am printing the my value. So my value is coming as 25.65 because I have terminated this decimal places after 2 decimal places, right? So this is very helpful because let's say you are making a small calculator or small application in which you are receiving a number from the user and you are giving the multiplying the number by itself and giving it back to the user, right? So you can do this here. So let's say let it be this. here. Printf. So we'll give a new line here again. Okay, I've already given a new line in the previous line. The square of the number is percentage 2.lf comma my value, right? So let's see what happens. The square of the number is, okay, there's a small mistake here. So let's say I'm giving 12.2. The value given by the user is 12.2. Okay, sorry, I did not square this. Multiply by. So what I'm doing is I am multiplying. This star is multiplication. So it is basically, if you press Shift and 8 in your keyboard, you will get this, right? So let's run this again. So 12.5. So this the value given by the user is 12.5. The square of the number is 156.4. So 156.2.5 is nothing but 12.5 square. Okay, so we'll just verify this. .5 times 12.5 is 156.25, right? Okay. So this is how an input works. So basically, you have learned how do we give something to the user, how do you store those values, and how do you save some value from the user, right? Okay. So from next class, we will again learn a few more details, and we will start doing our actual programs using these three. So these three are the building blocks of our program. Once you know how to take some value, store the value, and manipulate the value. So this is what is known as a manipulation of values. So the values I have changed. I have multiplied the value by itself. So I have changed the value. And how do I display the value back to the user? So if you know this, basic, you have got my basic ideas. Now some certain rules we have to learn. All those rules we will learn by using small programs, right? Okay, so that will be this small video. We'll see in the next video. Thank you.